And now, from Glasgow.
So hello there, welcome to stages 24, 25 and 26 of the ET build. So we will be doing three stages this issue. So let's have a look at the parts count. This is quite interesting. I've got all these screws but only one part. So this is 2401. This is the abdominal side frame. This is definitely plastic. And then we've got PTP 2 screws. And we've got PTPB 4 screws, so they're easy to identify because one's only got 2 screws and one's got 4. But I can see that I remember from the previous issue these screws are just slightly longer than those ones. Right, so what we need the part that we did in previous issues, which is this one, and we're going to be popping this plate onto there. And yeah, so we've got screw holes there, and there, and a couple there. That's going to line up with those screw holes and 2 there. It's going to be an ever so simple job, this issue. So yes, no, this doesn't want to line up. Is that right? Right, I think the easiest way to do... Oh, there we go, that's lined up. Right, so in answer to my question last issue, how tight do we do these? Yes, we do them... Whoops. We do them so there's movement, because then, see, I did them like that level. Once you put this on, you then realise that these need to go at a slight angle. But because there's a little divot in there, when you bring them to the correct angle, you'll actually feel it lock in. So this is locked in at the bottom. We then give this a wiggle. No, that's not doing it. Right, I think the easiest way, let's actually screw these in. So these smaller screws are going there, and the longer screws are going there. So I'm going to forget about these pieces on the top altogether, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to, is it this one? Yeah. I'm going to pop my 2 screws in there. Sorry, it's that way, isn't it? And I'm only going to focus on this piece. Do you know what? I've put my screwdriver down. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this piece in. Just get that screw started. Yep, Penny, let's just focus on the one screw. That's not gone in. These are the kind of screws that you need to get them absolutely precise. If they're not 100% accurate, they ain't going in. But once they're in, it's nice and secure. See, that's not... Yep, that's in. Right, so we get this screwed in. And I don't think I'm going to screw these all the way. I think I'm going to screw them till they're nearly ready. Right, so what we can do now, if we just push slightly on this, give this a wiggle, and then once it's lined up, it'll kind of lock into place. So I don't know if you can see this, but like there's movement there. But once it actually locks into the hole, once it lines up with the hole, it locks in. And now you can see they actually go at an angle. Once they're in, let's get just our top screw in. There we go. So we get that screw in. So that piece is now not going anywhere. Okay. Then we'll get our top screw in on our second piece. And what seems to be happening is if you screw that screw backwards and forwards, it kind of lines itself up nicely. There we go. It's a little bit more hard to do when you've got a ratchet screwdriver. There we go. And then I think we can finish these first two screws off. We'll get those done nice and tight. Remember, it's going into plastic, so let the screw tell you when it's in enough. And then what we'll do is we'll just pop these second screws in. And already I can feel it's a very strong structure. So I don't know if you remember me telling you in the previous issue, once we put that first piece on, you know, this piece there connected to there, it was all right. You know, it had a certain amount of strength to it, but you know, you could easily snap it off if you gave it enough force. And then you put the next piece on and you could feel it getting a lot stronger. Then you put one of these side pieces on and the strength increased. Now we've got this side piece on, it's actually incredibly strong. That is really strong, and you can obviously tell there's going to be a piece coming in on that side. Right guys, so that is the end of stage 24. So let's have a look at stage 25. I think we know what's going to be coming. So we've got 2 sets of screw. Yeah, it's exactly the same as 24 really, except the part might be slightly different shape. So should be a little bit easier to do than the previous issue, because obviously these pieces are now lined up properly. We had to find that line up point before, but it is essentially exactly the same. So what's going to happen is this piece is going to go onto there, and that's just gone straight in, look. So we'll start off with our 2 screws here on the bottom. And this is really where I really want an electric screwdriver. I think that would help me so much. There we go. And then the next one can go in. Lovely. Right, so with our PTPB screws, we'll now put the side pieces in. So let's go on the top one again, like we did on the opposite side, and lovely job. There you go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a quick cut, and then you'll find some of the screws have gone in by magic. Okay, so that's the 4th screw going in. I did include a little tiny bit of the other screws. Now I find it quite interesting they put those cable bits in there, but not on this side. It could just be that they made these 2 pieces identical for manufacturing purposes, but that is that done. There is another step. Step I'm going to do on this video. However, it's not anything to do with the abdomen. So I thought now might be a good chance for me to bring in what we've got. Now these are the legs, and yes, I can see you all making jokes what's ET short for, because he's only got little legs. This is the abdomen, and obviously I don't know exactly what we're going to do, but this does fit into there quite nicely. So I'm guessing that is the legs in the abdomen, which I find quite interesting. We've not been told to put that in yet. But instead I'm going to keep it like this. I think that's quite good storage like that. But we are going to go on to issue 26 now, and the parts for issue 26, we've now gone complete opposite end. This is the mechanism of the neck. So let me just chop the parts out, and we have got 3 parts. We have got the base mount A. We have got 26.2, which is a gear 66T. I guess that's 66 teeth. I'm not going to count them. and then we have a bearing 8 by 14 millimeters. So you'll see that, I don't know what I can make a reference to, skateboard bearings. Where would you have bearings? Right, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to pop this bearing onto the bottom. We want to push that all the way up like that. So now we have it nice freely moving. Okay, and then that's going to go into there. So the bearing is, sorry, bear with me. So there's a little recess in the battery box. That bearing is going to fit into there nicely. Okay, and then you can see that's going to move freely. No oil required because the bearing will already have oil in there. And I can see from the holes we're going to be putting extra gears in later on. But that is it. That's all we do in this stage. It is a little bit frustrating that they leave this point at the end of a pack, and we now have another month. Well, you don't have a month to wait, but I would have a month to wait till the next pack. But that's the way it is. So yeah, that's it. So let's have a little summary of what we've got. We've still got this head. We don't seem to be doing any more on it. There has been a lot of concerns about where the eyes will go one way but not the other, and the eyelids and the mouth. It's like there's a stopper on it. I say trust the process. You'll see there's things to plug in there. I think there is going to be a controller somewhere that will tell it when to open and when to close. I really do think it's a case of trust the process. So don't panic. And also, so many people are having the same issue, which is that they're going one way. That, I'm sure there wouldn't be that many people have a broken ET, I know, and so many people have an ET that's broken in the same way. So I'm pretty sure it's just trust the process. So this is what I've got so far, and for 26 issues, that's not awful, is it? You know, there is a fair old chunk. We've certainly, I mean, that's not the full ET. We've got the body to come. We've got this mechanism, and don't forget we've got this finger, which is probably going to be sitting there doing nothing for probably about a year. You know how they go with the part works. But that's it then, guys. That's my ET build so far. Quite happy with it. So hopefully I will see you in 2 weeks when I will have issues 27 onwards. So take care, guys. Bye bye.